May I have an approval of the agenda, please? Somebody say yes for approval. All right,
Yes.
Barry and Brian. All in favor?
Yes.
All in favor? Okie dokie, we're good. Any pecuniary interest, et cetera, you have to disclose? Nope, okay. Approval of minutes. Remember, we got 2 sets of minutes. We got the minutes from November 20th and the minutes from October 22nd. So I would say, I think I'm allowed to approve as in one. May I have someone move that we approve the minutes of both meetings as presented?
I don't remember looking at them actually.
Oh, well, we got them.
Yep.
Did anybody read them so that we can approve them?
You don't have to read them to approve them.
All right, who would like to approve them without reading them? Please.
Let's say yes, and then we did.
Well, we
Brian, put up your hand.
All right.
It was good.
Brian, would you like to move that we approve the minutes of both meetings? Thank you. And Jeremy, would you like to second that? All in favor?
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. Oh boy, you guys are a pain. All right, business arising from the minutes. Well, it was the entryway, and Jeremy was nice enough to get in touch with Sherlock. So Jeremy, tell us the good news.
Oh yeah, so the lock is all in good shape now, and thought it could last us a good long time. We did ask him if just in the course of the his presence, whether that door looked like a good door, and he said it's a terrible door. It's a residential door that should be replaced with a commercial door and a commercial. Tom, what I mean by that is I saw you grimace, but
Yeah.
it's pretty flimsy is what it is. And that's what he commented. It wasn't my words, it was his words. So
Yep.
uh,
Is it a priority? That's the question.
we asked that he prepare, if they would, which this is not their normal business, but to prepare a quote to replace it, because the one we did get from a different source was pretty high.
Yeah.
And
Well, I don't know if I think right now, unless I'm totally mistaken, we're not in financial.
no, I know that. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But it is something that what you're saying we should definitely look into in the future when things come back to normal.
That's right. Yeah. It's just a point of interest that, be ready and be prepared.
Okay, so be ready to probably replace the door, basically, is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, it's the whole project, right? Replace the door, put a variable lock on so that people can use, can be adjusted remotely, and people can have their own password without having to hand it.
So he's gonna provide us a quote. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Good.
Well, when do you think we'll get the quote, Jeremy?
Soon, I would say.
Okay. Well, then
Yeah.
that will be nice. Maybe it'll be around, when we have another meeting. Okay, any questions, comments on the door? Thank you, Jeremy, for handling this.
No,
Much appreciated.
Good job, Jeremy. Good job.
thanks.
Yep.
Financial report, that would be Brian.
Yes, and everyone, I think, has a copy with the agenda. Actually, we're in good shape. Our bank balance as of October 31st was $10,705.54. And I am waiting for the receipt of a check from Clearview Community Church for 2 quarters, the first quarter of this year and a quarter that they missed last year, $3,338.36. So that would bring our bank balance up to over $14,000.
Brian, when does the first quarter of this year, when did the first quarter
January,
of this year
February,
end?
March. January, February, March,
Oh, okay.
minus 3 weeks that we were closed.
So then we'll be in pretty decent financial shape just to kind of hold our own for a while.
Yeah, and the solar panels are actually making us money. I think we netted in October something like $1,000 over what we spent on hydro. Now, what happens sometimes is the something to do with the router. I'm not sure. It doesn't always send the signal in, but when it comes back on again, it does a catch up. So it might have been a catch up that month. I don't know, but we got a whack of money in. But we've been making 800 or more a month on the solar panels, and
That's good.
electricity. So that's working for us. And we spent since January over $16,504.82 on capital expenses. That came out of our bank balance. We were over 30. We're down to 10, but it'll soon be 14. So we're doing all right. We're
Thank
holding
you.
up.
Any questions for Jeremy?
No.
For Brian?
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at Jeremy and not saying, sorry. Thank you very much. Any questions for Brian?
Jeremy can probably answer them better than me. I don't know.
Excuse me. Any questions?
Well done,
Oh,
Brian.
I'm just pleased to hear the news. Thank you. Now, building and landscaping, I don't really think they're, oh, I know what. I bumped into Bob Rancier in town, and he wanted to know. He said, all right, do you want me to still, like he usually does the walkway in off of Caroline Street. He had been doing the walkway in from Mill Street, but that's kind of out of the picture. And he does a little bit of the driveway, but like the parking area, but only where the current parking is for people with disabilities, which I informed him won't even be there one of these days soon. But anyway, we talked, and I honestly am not sure. He said, well, I'll just keep doing it unless you say something. Like he'll just keep doing the one walkway in and right in front of the door. And I said, well, and I said, that's good because we do need something done because Debbie is going in, right, on a regular basis. So it has to be reasonably cared for Debbie. So I think that's important. Plus, if any of us have to go in for any reason, I think that's important.
Well, plus also, if there's ever an emergency through all this COVID and we need an emergency facility to set up for, medical beds or something. So yeah, we want to keep the building accessible.
Yeah, so okay, so he and I did come to that agreement. We're just going to leave it quite accessible. And and then my other thing I said to him, I said, and Bob, did you ever send us a bill for last year? Because Bob is notorious. I had to chase him one year to get a bill. I have no idea whether we paid him for last year. He's terrible at sending bills. So I don't know where we're at with him. Yes, Jeremy.
I'm so glad you brought this topic up, Linda, because as you may know, I have been trying to sell the water pumps that we had for the fountain.
Yeah.
And, those are quite expensive pumps and very unusual in what they do. And that's why I don't think it's not just like a normal swimming pool person interested in it. And since I have been successful in doing that, my question is, would we feel, in light of Bob's generous actions, would we feel right to offer them to him at no cost?
So you're saying that nobody wants to buy them?
That's right. And I put them down at like at 20% of what their purchase price was.
Even
So what price are we advertising them for? What's the dollar price?
$400.
$400. And they're high volume pumps, I gather.
Yeah, like they're 3.5 horsepower.
Oh, okay.
three and a horse.
Has it been in the Echo and I missed it?
Have we, I'm just gonna, have we talked to Stuart and his gang? Are they interested in them since they're redoing the fountain? Are they interested in them?
No, because they were the ones that said, we're just taking these pumps up to the garbage. And I said, whoa, geez, let me have them if I may, with the hope that we could do something with it and recoup.
No, but Jeremy, has there been an ad in the Echo?
Not in the Echo. It has been in Kijiji, where I thought that would be the most likely place to get some exposure.
Marketplace on Facebook.
Yeah, marketplace on Facebook might be an idea. And what if we have to lower the price down to $200 a piece?
Yeah,
No.
we could. Yeah.
Well, if Bob will take it for payment of his job, that would be good too. If he
Yeah,
Oh,
would
it
take
would be good.
I'm just, does he want them?
Well, true.
No, but my other thing is too, I just am curious. I know like there are like things like Kijiji and what you were suggesting, but there are also people who just look in the paper.
Mhm.
I mean,
Well,
even
sure.
just putting something in like
Yeah,
once, and just seeing if somebody is interested in these pumps,
Mhm.
like putting it in 1 week, we can probably afford it.
Yeah, I mean, what's it cost to put an ad in the paper? 50, 60 bucks.
And then just see if anybody wants it, and maybe some dinosaur who doesn't go online for things. And I'm talking about myself because that would be me.
Yeah.
Might be interested in something.
So I would put forth a motion that we put an ad in the paper for
Yeah, okay.
at least for at least 1 week, and we should mention that they are the pumps from the fountain.
Yeah.
I wonder if we should mention that they're high volume fountain pumps from our fountain.
Mhm.
And then that might create a little more interest in somebody wanting to buy them or purchase them or something.
Yeah, just so you know, those ads had been viewed over 300 odd times. So
Yeah.
people looked at them, but
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking of maybe, like,
Sure.
I don't even know
No,
what
I can-
kind of person would buy something like this.
Yeah. I was
Brian?
going to say, who would use these pumps? Maybe if we know the type of work that they would put it to, we could direct the ad to that particular group. Maybe we're
Anybody with a pond, and they want to put some sort of water circulation system into the pond. Anybody with a pond or like that might be. Might be interested. You know who you might contact is John Hillier. He just put a thing in the paper. He's got a big pond. He may be interested. Talk around. I'll ask around. I know Austin Boak. He's got a big pond. I'll ask him if he's interested in them.
But
yeah,
I would still like to see something like at least for 1 week in the paper, just so that people in this local area,
Yes.
it wouldn't cost that
no,
much.
I agree. Put an ad in the paper. Yeah.
And then just, Jeremy, would you be willing to take care of that?
yeah, sure.
Do we have to have
Why
a
not?
motion to do this?
Yes,
Why not?
Mary's put a motion on the floor.
Oh, all right,
to-
who would like to second Barry's motion? Okay, Tom? All
Can
in
we-
favor?
Can we discuss it for a moment? Can we
Yes, sir.
go beyond just the paper?
Oh, your mom's up, Brian.
Sorry? Yeah. No,
What,
but
Brian?
there's magazines for farmers. Would it be useful to put it in an ad in one of those magazines? Because every farmer has a pond. And also landscape architects, they might be interested if they're doing landscaping for clients, and here's an opportunity to get a pump at a reasonable price. So just
Right.
maybe we're directing it at the wrong market.
Don't forget what our asking price on it. We know what the value is, and I'll ask you to say what you think that the.
Well, I think it's time to fire sale them, right? We didn't get any response at 400. Let's 50% off. 50% off COVID sale. Put them in for $200 a piece.
Hmm.
All right, so we're gonna put them in, we're saying
I'm
yes to
I'm making the dollar figure part of my motion, $200 a piece.
$200 a piece, but are we just sticking with the paper or now are we expanding? And then would Jeremy even know how to get in touch with
But-
some of these things?
Well, let's do the paper first and see what response we get.
And then look
Would you
at
want
it
it?
again.
Yeah, yeah. Because
All right,
might get in the paper and somebody goes, some of the local farmers might go, hey, look what's for sale. Yeah, I'll scoop them up. So,
all
but
right,
Brian's got a good idea.
so let's go. Would you please state your motion very clearly, adding that $200 thing in?
Okay, I put forth the motion that we put an ad in the Echo for one issue with the cost of, with the sale price of $200 per pump.
And the seconder is? Who was the seconder? Brian,
I think
okay?
Tom
It was
seconded
Tom.
I
it.
was
Tom?
earlier. I just wonder how much these pumps are actually worth, new.
Well, I say, Tom, the 3.5 horsepower was, I think it was 1,200 plus HST.
Yeah,
And the other one is not, it's a 2 horsepower and it's an older pump. So like 200 each is fair if people buy. What I'd prefer to do is have a $400 for the lot,
Yeah.
if we could do something like that, and then negotiate.
All right, you have to change that's sort of a friendly amendment.
Yeah. Well, I said, no, mine said $200 each.
each, yeah.
Yeah, each.
Okay, well, but Jeremy is saying he's interested in just saying $400 for both.
If that
Yeah,
works,
but, better to sell one than none.
yeah.
Okay, so you're not amending your motion. Who is seconding Barry's motion? Tom? All in favor? All right, carried. And Jeremy, you're going to take care of this, correct?
Sure will.
Hey,
Thank
Jeremy,
you.
thanks for
You're the
taking that
man.
on, Jeremy.
Yeah.
It's appreciate it.
Now, if you look at the next part, the current and new business, well, the first one was Clearview Community Church Christmas services. I guess that's canceled. Don't have to worry about that request. Winter markets, other than the winter markets is very upset with us, we have canceled it.
Why would they be upset at us? It's out of our hands.
Well, you didn't see the email did you not?
I
receive
did
the-
see it.
Yeah,
I did see it.
Helen is a little bit upset, and I'm sorry about that. Actually, I'm sorry that we included the church in this, because I don't think the church was an issue. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I didn't think the church was an issue. It's local people, and I didn't think that was a problem. The winter market, well, yes, Brian.
Linda, Clayton said that they had already decided after November 15th, Sunday,
Yeah,
they were going to close and just hold their services at the church in Stainer.
yeah, I know. And he said that as soon as everything is back to normal, they will jump right on board and they will be here really fast to rent, to be back in the station.
Yeah.
And the winter markets, well, we've canceled that. I don't think there's anything to say there. Well, you saw what I saw that sign at the pizza place, so I went in to say something, telling them, well, it's canceled, and Helen was a little annoyed at me, but anyway. The Christmas tree stroll, it's on there, but really it has nothing to do with the station because it's only on the property. Nobody's going inside, nothing going on. So that's, nothing exciting there. And then a COVID update communication from Amanda Murray. She sent something out and I think we all received it, just talking about the fact that we're in orange.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean like any of the things that we did, like canceling the market, canceling the church, those things didn't have to be done because we're in orange. But it was just being precautionary.
It was the right thing to do.
And yes, sir.
Yeah.
And we might,
Well,
who knows?
19 new cases yesterday. 19 new cases in our area.
Simcoe, Muskoka.
In Simcoe, Muskoka, 19 new cases. And they're all around us. Now, we didn't have any new cases in Clearview from what I saw, but
No, we didn't.
the south of us, New Tech, Collingwood, it's all around us. So it was.
Well, Collingwood, I
It's-
think
and
only
it's-
had
it's-
one or, like, it
it's-
hasn't had too many cases, has it, Collingwood? I think they're pretty.
Well, I'm telling you, as of yesterday, they had Collingwood had one new case. There was 19 new cases,
Yeah,
and it's all around us.
It would be
know.
nice.
It's
It
three
would be
here,
nice.
two there, one there, but it's all around us. And I had a talk with the mayor and Steve Sage, CIO, and they truly believe we did the right thing. And Mr. Ford has now come out with his new things that yesterday, stating like for Christmas and that they're telling everybody, stay to your own household.
Yes,
Do not go beyond your own household.
I know.
So it's
Yes.
getting serious. And
It would be nice to keep it out of Clearview. If our numbers are low, if non-existent, so it'd be nice to keep it that way. And further to what Barry was saying, I'm reading more and more now in the paper of doctors and epidemiologists across Canada sounding the alarm that not enough is being done, that we're not
Yeah.
being strict enough, and we're going to pay the price in a few weeks. So I think what we did was the right thing to do, and hopefully it was the right thing to do, and we see that it was come to pass in a few weeks. We may regard that as, yeah, we did the right thing. And it
Well,
was
I
good.
keep thinking that in a few weeks, we could end up being in red. I mean, I can see
well,
us.
there's talk about it.
Yeah, I know.
There was talk about among staff yesterday that the possibilities of us going red is very close.
Yeah, I know.
Very, very close to us going red. And for what it's worth, I met with the doc who's in charge of the emergency hospital area they've set up in Collingwood in the Legion. And I went for a tour of the place, and it's awesome. They've got it all set up, ready. They got generator there for power. They're ready to take on, like, I think there's 50 beds or something in there, and they're gearing up, like they're watching it closely. And
Oh, that's good to know. So we're just kind of.
they're ready on a moment's notice to open that facility because they think they may have to. So,
Jeremy, did you want to say something?
Yeah, just for the record, just wanted to say that you should not feel the brunt of Helen's email or anything
no.
for that.
No.
You represent the board, and it was the board, and so don't ever feel that like that was personally critical of you, even though that was very, I think it was in bad taste the way she was sending that letter. But anyway, I think you just need to know that we're all supporting you as the front person for the board. So good for you.
Yeah, lucky me, but thank you very much. And it is like,
So just to sort of keep you on the update, that the mayor was going to send her a letter, because she sent a letter to council as well, right?
Mhm.
And the mayor was going to respond to her. And like I said, the mayor, CAO, Sage, Amanda, they're behind us 100%. It was the right decision to make.
Oh,
Not
good.
a happy decision, but the right decision. So.
No, not a happy decision for sure, but it is a right decision. I know.
Yes.
I know. And as I said, I just listening to people talk, I was talking to some friends yesterday, and they said, oh, is that what about that market? And I said, well, actually it's being canceled. And they said, good. They were not particularly enthusiastic about it. And there are people who would regularly go to the market, but they weren't enthusiastic. But anyway, we basically have finished everything on our agenda, unless anybody, I've got one thing I was going to bring up, but anything else? Brian? Yes, sir.
We're getting to the end of November, and I'll be cutting a check for Debbie. Can we clarify exactly what the amount's going to be? I can ask her in terms of the insurance payment that we have to make. But my understanding is that if she's going in occasionally at $30 a week, but I think she's been doing some cleaning as well. So I'm not quite clear on what I should be paying her this month.
Well, talk to her and see, because she may have done some cleaning after the church on the Sunday, the one Sunday it was there. So it might be worthwhile checking with her and seeing if she did some extra hours and then just pay her for it.
At a rate of what though for cleaning?
Good question. I have no idea.
So can I put forth a motion that that when it comes to paying our contract cleaner, that we leave it to the discretion of Brian to pay the amount with, to receive the amount of hours she put in. We have an hourly rate agreed, don't we? I believe we have an hourly rate agreed. Just leave it to Brian, to his discretion. If he says, here, I put in an extra 10 hours. If he's satisfied that she can validate that, then I'm happy with that.
Yeah, she has been keeping a journal. She has been keeping notes, because I checked her.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
It
So
was
yeah,
so much simpler before COVID. It was the same amount every month. Now we've got to create something new every week.
Barry put forth a motion, so we need a seconder for that.
I'll second that.
And all in favor? Thank you. Carrie.
Thank you.
And now the only thing I was going to bring up, unless anybody else had anything else, I was just curious, do we want to continue now that we are basically closed down? And Kayla, if you want to chime in here, you are welcome. Should we or should we not continue with our monthly meetings? I mean, basically the one idea for doing it would be to just keep up on the finances and to see if we've run into any issues in the building at all after, with Debbie doing.
Oh, I think you should have another one.
Just keep going once a month?
It'll be Boxing Day.
No, it won't be. It'll be 17th.
Personally, I think we should leave it to the call of the chair.
Any other comments on that one? I mean, I know that call of the chair can be a bit of an issue because then you don't have a date on your calendar that you have to look at.
Right.
And I
That's why
think
we do it, call of the chair.
And then the one reason to keep doing it, in my mind, is first to hear, well, we've been hearing from Jeremy if there's any interest in these pumps. And secondly, to keep up on the finances. I think that's important.
You could also cancel it.
And yeah, and if there's absolutely nothing to say, then we can cancel it. So I don't.
Whatever suits the committee is fine with me.
So, all right, in my head, I think we should at least get on and say hello to each other once a month. Kayla, is this making sense to you?
Yeah, it's at the discretion of the board. It's whatever you guys like. You're the volunteers. I'd rather just keep you happy.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll just stay happy and leave it as it is. And as you can see, the next meeting is December 17th. And that's on your agenda. So anything else that anybody wants to say about anything?
I just want to remind everybody that Kayla can remind me of the date, but Mr. Sage is leaving us. So he will, prior to Christmas, he's leaving. I forget the exact date. I think it's Kayla. Do you remember the exact date that Steve is leaving?
I think he's leaving Christmas Eve. He may be.
Yeah, I think
for the
Christmas
half day.
Eve. Yeah.
So are you guys holding a party for him?
Well,
No,
they're.
not really.
Are you bringing him a cake or anything?
Virtual.
No, we're really not sharing food. I mean, we still adhere to all of the
Rules.
policies and guidelines in place as well. So
Have you found a new CAO to take over?
that's
Not
very.
yet. No, no comments, at this stage.
Well, I've only had a few interactions with Steve, but anytime I have, I've been very pleased. Like, he's a nice guy.
No, Steve's been very good, and he's been very good at helping us. I know there was a time when we were having problems with the the hydro panels and getting stuff like that. No, he'll surely be missed. He'll surely be missed from the community.
Yes, he will.
That's for sure. His blood is blue. There's no doubt about it. His blood is Clearview blue.
Oh, good. So no, he's a nice guy. I'll miss him. Anything else that anybody wants to mention before we before I adjourn this meeting?
Well, the point of that was, bringing it up, should we just send a letter of appreciation? And congratulations on his retirement, and a letter of appreciation, you know, from the committee, signed by the chair, just saying that we appreciate his commitment and everything he's done to help us.
Well, I might be
That's
able to
it.
find a card. Listen, I'll find a card and I will do that on behalf of the board. How's that?
Thank you, Linda.
That
I
works.
will see if I've got anything in my card stash that would work.
All right. Okay,
All
perfect.
right. And then Jeremy will make a report at the next meeting if he's got anything to do with the doors, if we've got
Doors
update
and the
on
pumps.
that. And then anything to do with the pump. Brian will talk to us about money. And then if anything else comes up, we'll have it there. All right.
Right.
Yeah.
And it, according to me, it is now 9:30.
Wow.
I got one last question.
All right.
How was your golf game there?
Oh,
John?
in the snow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Are you really golfing tomorrow?
I hope so. I hope
It's
so.
going to be
But
mucky.
I am looking forward to December the 17th to see all your happy, merry faces. Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Happy
Merry
Merry
Christmas,
Faces Christmas. And I don't know how many people you're having for Christmas dinner.
None.
I know.
Just the two of us.
I think for the December 17th meeting, we should all have to wear an ugly Christmas sweater for the meeting on the 17th.
Something
All right.
Christmassy, sure.
Or an
Or grow a beard.
AC/DC shirt.
Good idea.
Kayla, put that in the whatever you send us. Tell us to wear an ugly Christmas sweater or we'll forget.
Okay.
All right.
And, or, you know, bells around your neck or something. And everybody just enjoy this not too busy holiday season. I mean, my Christmas dinner is going to be, apparently Quince is doing the same thing he did with Thanksgiving, and he did a fabulous takeout for that. And so I'm going to do takeout from, because I can't see.
Okay,
cooking
so
a
tell
whole
me how
lot
that
for
worked,
two.
Linda. Tell me
It
how
was
that
great.
worked.
Well, his is now this year, apparently he's doing the dinner on, you do takeout on the 24th. Not
Okay.
on, he's not doing it on the 25th. But let me tell you, when we had it for Thanksgiving, we had enough for 2 meals. Like
Perfect.
it was, but I can't guarantee it'll be the same, but everything was good. I enjoyed it. We both did. And we're going to try it again for Christmas.
Okay.
And then just, you know, because how much are you going to cook for 2 people?
A huge turkey that goes on for a week, but
Well,
No,
yeah, well,
Everybody's looking for small turkeys this year instead of big ones.
I
Mhm.
know,
Small
or
one.
a turkey breast, or 1 turkey breast and a couple of legs or something like
Yeah.
that. You
It's
know,
good to
but it just, yes, sir?
it's good to support our businesses.
It is. I think it's very important. But I was thrilled to hear that, I didn't realize it, but that the pub is only allowing people inside who are from the area. In other words, people who are visitors from outside, apparently they can do takeout, but they can't come in.
Yeah, we're doing people from the red zone. It's
And then the same thing is happening while it was on around like the Curly Willow and Collingwood is doing that same thing.
Yeah.
And I kind
a
of,
lot of places in our.
yeah, so that's an interesting thing to see happening. But
Good.
I don't know. But we will be together obviously prior to Christmas,
So,
because our next meeting is December 17th. Does anybody else want to say anything before I say goodbye? You have questions, anything? You can always call me anytime. What are you doing, Tom? Getting ready to leave?
Yes?
Oh, all right. All right. The meeting is officially adjourned at 9:34.
Very good.
Thanks,
All
everybody.
right.
Right.
Bye, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks
Kayla.
for
Thanks,
coming.
Kayla, for getting me fixed up. Appreciate
Bye,
that.
no
Bye,
problem. Hey, Barry, always click that little link. It won't necessarily come up www.zoom./ whatever.
Right.
Just says
Okay.
join here.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, well, but I wasn't getting the join here. So that's the problem. I wasn't. I get your email, but I never got the thing that said join here. That's what I kept missing. But the last one, it came through. So I don't know.
Okay.
All right, well,
Anyways, thanks,
everybody
Kayla.
have a good day.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Okay, bye.
Bye now.